Avansovka explained, the longest video in the series. See the main sheet. Top navigation row, 4 functional buttons and functional buttons below. Let's first go and see where you get the explanation. You press the plus button below, left corner, and you get an explanation about that page. You can also jump over to YouTube or to other services to read more. Let's now first go through the trip management. Trip management helps you structure your trips and structure all the expenses that you incurred during the trip. Let's set up a trip. Setting up a trip is as simple as typing it in. So let's assume you have a St. Pete trip going from Moscow to St. Pete. So client event St. Petersburg, just type it in. The name is later shared with your accountant or assistant. Type in where from, to, add then the information for the per diem calculations if this was Russia or not. Set the dates when you left and arrived. Set also the dates when you stayed in a period, and all get sorted automatically in Avansovka. Back to start function makes it easy to basically say, I don't want to type Moscow twice, and that's it. And that easily you have set up a trip. And once you set up a trip, all of your expenses will be sorted against the trip data. So it's very easy, very structured, very simple to follow up. If you added all of the hotel bills, if you have all of the airplane tickets ready or not. Try it out and you will understand how it simplifies your life, especially if your trip has been longer. You can add comments to the trip that are received by your accountants. So let's save the trip now and continue. Trip was generated, your first task achieved in Avansovka. Leave the page and now let's see what happens when you go to single expenses. This is where you add expenses to the system. This is how the input sheet looks in the beginning. Just type what the expense was, select the currency, select the date, and actually selecting is a little bit of fun because you decide, and you'll see later in this video, what you want to enter. It is up to you to decide how this input sheet looks like, and it's up to you to decide what fields are must fields, which means you need to enter data, or which fields are can. Here we already are. You want to send it now, maybe not. Maybe you want to attach the picture to it. So attaching a picture to it is as easy as taking a picture. Take the picture of the expense, attach it, and there it is. And you created an expense report with the picture attached. You can send it to your accountant, and unfortunately in Russia you still have to hand in the originals afterwards. In other countries already only copies work, but fine. It was sent. Did you see it? Sent. Now sometimes something goes wrong, so you have the correction sheet. There are 4 types of data in the system. Single expenses, and they can be sent or not sent, and business trips, and they can be active or closed. The business trip we created is active. You can attach expenses to this business trip. And then, sure, you want to send something, so the report sheet, the last of the big sheets, there you click, I want to send something, and then you can decide how you send it. If you want to send the business trips with the attached expenses, like here done, see that? How nice, it lists your trip, lists all the data, your accountant receives all the data, the expense that we generated is attached, and now imagine if that business trip is not 1 expense but 25 expenses. All sorted, all organized, all made easy with Avansovka. Here you select the tool you want to send it. Currently email is the preferred tool. The other tools will soon work also if the technology allows it, but email is the easiest tool to send it. And now you have a traceable outbox. You go to your email outbox, all the data is there. You want to add comments to your emails to your accountants or to your assistants to process it. That's very easy. It's as easy as writing an email. Everything is there. And the most fun part about this is it's all yours. It's on the systems. It's on the mobile. It's only your data. The single expense has been sent. The report sheet is empty. There are no more reports to be sent. It's clean. You've done your job. And now for the setup page. Languages. You can switch them fast. Lightning fast you switch between the languages. There will be more languages added. There's a very funny thing called the expense categories. Actually, the system has 3 types of expense categories, and they're all managed through the wheels. And we haven't talked about the magic of the wheels yet. You just add an expense category here in coordination with your accountants or on your own, and it's as easy as typing it in. You do a plus, and there it is. And now guess what? How that shows up. We go back to the single input sheet. We go to the accounting category, wheel through it. We call it the magic wheel, and there it is. As simple as that, you got the expense category added. Now you have also business expenses. Idea here is you can new sales, current clients, employees, and so on. And you have a third category, which is project expenses. So each expense that you can file into these 3 categories if you like to. Basically, you're creating now a small budgeting and a control system. In future versions of Avansovka, all of this will be used, all of this will be controlled, and you can run budgeting functions, project functions with that tool in order to control how you spend it, where you spend it, and what you do. And you do that on your mobile. Now, we talked about it earlier that you can change the input fields. We call that flexibility by design at Avansovka. This is the input field. On the left, you have a little tick box and you mark what is a must field. You must fill it in. You force yourself, otherwise there's not a save function. On the right, you have the little slider and you can say show it or not. If you don't show it, it's not visible on the sheet. So let's play around a little bit. Like for example here now I have 3 must fields, comments, payment methods, and also the amount. How much was the expense? The must fields in the input sheet are denoted by a little red star. And you will see if you don't do anything and don't write in the must data, the system just says, no, sorry, not saving, you must write it in. So let's see how the system works. Let's see, do a little test run here. Here, no trip, how you paid it, very important to understand. And you can also adjust that, how you paid it, the payment methods to your needs. Exactly as you need it, you can enter your data in there. So here now, typed in, bought some materials for an office in Kazan, a chair maybe, whatever, does not really matter. And now working through it, looking through it, you can send it right away, or you can continue and save it. Sending right away means your accountant will get lots of single emails, your choice. You can also combine these emails afterwards. There's a combination function where you can basically combine different expenses. Here you see now not all data filled in, system complaining, saying you must fill it in, you must enter it. So great flexibility how you want to run this. Now naturally maybe you're saying this is too much, I don't need this data, but I like the functionality collecting through Avansovka all of the expenses. So why don't we switch off everything? Possible. All you need is one field. One field is a must, that's it. Comment field, fill it in, that's it. You take a picture, you add a comment, that's it. That is simple, that is fast. So I hope we could show you now the theme of Avansovka, flexibility by design. You decide how you use the system. And if you want to read more about Avansovka, go to the avansovka.ru webpage. Lots of additional information, lots of additional videos, lots of interesting facts. how to use the system and adjust to your needs.